There's an eyes What's that? Oh, okay. Thank you. Are we going to approve each one of those separately?
On which one?
Here's one we two.
Yeah,
Okay.
each one of those?
Each one has to be separate.
Yes.
Okay.
I hear you.
Thank you. All right, well, it's 7 o'clock. I'll call to order Brookings Common City Council meeting. We'll raise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Guess I should say the time, 7 o'clock p.m. Roll call.
Councilor Malmberg.
Here.
Councilor Pareda.
Here.
Councilor Martin.
Here.
Councilor Fulton. Here. Mayor Hodges.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item D, oral requests and communications from the audience. I have them as they were given to me, but I have one question. Val, did you want to do it now or during the presentation? Okay. So I'll hold that one off. I'll call up Ron Schneerson.
On the money, perfect.
Oh, great.
Good evening, Ron Schneerson, 111 Schooner Bay Drive. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. As I did last year, I'd like to once again talk to you about the wastewater treatment plant. And in thinking about what I was going to say tonight, I realized I should have titled this Chetco Point, the Visitor Experience, because that's really what's motivating me to speak to you tonight, the visitor experience at Chetco Point. So as you probably know, Chetco Point has one of the most stunning views in the area. Really, when it comes to a view of the ocean by downtown, you really can't beat Chetco Point. People go there year-round for different things. If you want to see massive waves crashing against rocks, that's where you go. During calmer weather, if you want to see whale watching, a lot of people during the summer go there just for the sunsets. So it gets a lot of usage. I go there multiple times a week just for the dog park. So very popular spot. If you can imagine the visitor experience, specifically a tourist, going to check out Chetco Point. The first impression and the last impression is the wastewater treatment plant. That is what it is. We can't move it. It's there. But I think there's some things we could do to improve on that experience. So that's why I'm here to speak to you. I want to ask you, again, as I did last year, to relook at the condition of the wastewater treatment plant and provide funds in the next budget cycle to address the disrepair and make improvements to the visitor experience. So I want to show you a few pictures. First is the wastewater treatment plant at Bandon. This is just north of their old town. And as you can see, they did a lot of murals, and they have some what I'll call privacy plastic slats in the chain link on the right. To be clear, I'm not proposing to do murals. They're very expensive to do well, and really don't want to compete with the beautiful ocean views that we have. And lastly, if you were going to spend some funds on public art, I'd much rather that was sculptures around town, but I'll let someone else, champion that another day. On the next slide, that is a picture of the wastewater treatment plant in Crescent City, where they really went all out. On the top left, they have a building there that looks like it could be a restaurant. It's beautiful, but that's a wastewater treatment facility. And on the bottom right, you can see some fencing and some landscaping. They really did a great job of kind of hiding or doing what they can to beautify the wastewater treatment plant. And then you can see our wastewater treatment plant, where we have chain link fencing with some barbed wire on the top. And here is where I would propose we do some of the privacy fencing that you saw in Bandon. The plastic slats are very low cost. If there's any concern about security and blocking view for the police, they don't really block the view, they just kind of filter or diffuse the view. You can actually see if someone's walking back there, skulking around. So just to kind of soften up the view. On the right side of that picture, you'll see some equipment. On the next slide, I kind of zoomed in on. This equipment, I learned, is the first equipment in the system. The purpose of this stuff is to pull out any items that are in the system that shouldn't have been flushed down the toilet. So if someone flushes down a towel or something, this equipment is going to pull it out before it damages the rest of the stuff. On the right side of it, you can see a dumpster and a big tube with some plastic over it. Again, the stuff gets kind of spit out and put in there. It's really unsightly. Again, privacy slats can kind of filter some of that. Last year, I had a tour from Jacobs Engineering, along with Tony and the previous city manager, and I learned that from Jacobs that they do have a lower cost hut that they can build around this equipment with the purpose of mitigating smell. But again, that's not what I'm here to talk to you about, but just to kind of plant the seed if you wanted to consider that at a later date. On the right side of this picture, you can see one of the buildings where trucks are parked, and in the next slide, I just focus on that building. That is something that's really kind of high profile. As you walk into on the way to Chetco Point, you can see this building, and you can see where the trucks park. Part of the facade is broken away by the heavy equipment that is taller than the opening. And whether it's trucks or heavy equipment, I don't know, but either way, those initially were broken decades ago. I did see some very old pictures of this facility where those were broken. And it's just gotten worse over the years. As you can see, some of the plywood is exposed, and it just looks like it needs a paint job. But it's very, very visible as you walk in.
Ron, sorry to interrupt. We're at 5 minutes, so if you could wrap it up quickly.
Sure.
Thank you.
Next slide is just more buildings that need a little touch-up, as you can see. And then the next one is just where we have an opportunity for more slats or landscaping or both, however much money you wanted to spend on that. Just to kind of filter out the diesel tank there. And then lastly is another picture of the slats across the street at the mill, so you can see that you can kind of see right through the stuff. So my request, again, is just to acquire quotes and direct Public Works to get quotes and for you to budget for next year, or for this year, and help improve the Chetco Point experience. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. I also, Luke and Tiffany, did you want to wait for the agenda item to speak? Okay, that's fine. So moving on to the agenda item E, consent calendar. The first one up is to approve council minutes for February 26, 2024.
I'll move to approve the council minutes for February 6, 2024.
Sec-
Sorry, 26, right? February 26.
February 26, 2024, correct.
I second.
Call the question?
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Pereira.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. E2, consent calendar, accept planning commission minutes for February 6th, 2024.
A motion to accept the Planning Commission minutes for February 6, 2024.
I'll second. Call the question?
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Pereira.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Consent calendar, item 3, approve liquor licenses for Wicked Pig.
I'll move to approve the liquor license for Wicked Pig. Second.
Call the question?
Counselor Pereira.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Consent calendar, item number 4, to accept the reappointment of Sage Bruce to the Planning Commission.
I'll move to reappoint Sage Bruce to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Call the question?
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Pereira.
Yes.
Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
The motion carries.
And last item on the consent calendar, number 5, to approve the memorandum of understanding by and between Curry County and the City of Brookings.
I motion to approve the memorandum of understanding by and between Curry County and City of Brookings.
I'll second. Call the question?
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Pereira.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Moving right along, agenda item F, staff reports, public hearings, ordinances, resolutions, and final orders. Number 1 is Curry Transfer and Recycling rate increase. And if you wanted to come up and speak as well.
I'll do the staff report first.
Okay.
We have an ordinance within the Brookings Municipal Code that establishes a franchise fee with Curry Transfer and Recycling that provides that CTR may request a rate adjustment annually based upon the cost of living and related factors. CTR has requested a rate increase of 3.08%. To be effective April 1st, 2024. This will result in a $1 per month increase in fee for a basic 32-gallon cart service. CTR has an exclusive franchise with the city to provide refuse collection, disposal, and recycling collection. The term of the franchise is year to year. The ordinance provides a 10-year termination provision. So with that, you could have Luke come up, answer any questions.
Sure, if you want to, Luke and Tiffany.
So I kind of want to take some time to introduce ourselves since it's a pretty new council. So I'm Luke Pike, the district manager at CTR.
I'm Tiffany Rugby, office manager.
And you know, kind of like what Tony said, we're basically here for any questions that you might have. One of the things that we did change is we aren't asking for the full 100% of the CPI, that we're asking for 75% this year. We have done that in the past, and that's kind of the direction that we're wanting to go going ahead. So basically, any questions that you guys might have for us, we're here.
I have a couple questions. I remember when you were here last year, and so this isn't really related to the rate increase, but the change from the transfer site to Carpenterville Road from Wilderness Road, has that gone smoothly, and is everything working well with that?
Actually, it's gone probably more smoother than we thought it would. So yeah, pretty exciting. It's for years, trash has gone from, you know, south coast, Harbor and Brookings up 9 miles to Ridge Creek, and then turned around and we brought it back to ourselves. So it's something we've been wanting to do for years. It does take quite a bit of time, money, and you know, we're in the trash industry, so we're highly regulated. So there's some permitting issues that we had to deal with. But right now, traffic flow and everything's been super good, and so far I've heard nothing but positive that people like to dump there. It's asphalt. You're not in the dirt and the mud, and they do miss the goats. We have heard that, so we might think about getting some goats, but
And llamas.
and llamas.
Any other discussion? Questions for them before they sit down? Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I'll motion to approve a new rate schedule from Curry Transfer and Recycle for refuse collection and recycling services per the attached letter and exhibit effective April 1st, 2024.
I'll second.
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Counselor Prada.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Moving on to agenda item F2. Was there some discussion first, Tony, on this one? No? Okay.
I'll do the staff report and then invite Val up to talk. You're talking about the last one?
Yeah, I'm talking about the SCCA.
Yeah, I'll do the staff report.
Perfect.
Yeah. In spring of 2023, the city entered into an MOU with the South Coast Community Aquatics to operate the municipal pool to gain full understanding of pool operations to potentially operate the pool in the future. This would ultimately benefit the city and the community by providing a management structure that would require fewer city resources and potentially lengthen the pool season under SCCA management. A council workshop was held on October 16, 2023, wherein SCCA provided a review of their 2023 season of operations and expenses and a desire to pursue full pool management for the 2024 season. Council's consensus was to move forward with the SCCA pool management agreement for the 2024 season. Staff has met with SCCA Board of Directors to draft the management agreement to operate the municipal pool. The city agrees to pay a base subsidy fee of $80,000 for the 2024 season with the availability to request additional funding if the cost exceeds the amount due to uncontrollable circumstances for which the city will consider in good faith. With that, I have a motion, and the draft agreement is attached. It's draft, so it's not completely final, and our motion is to authorize interim city manager to enter into that agreement once it's finalized. But I think the number is what is the most important thing right now. So with that, I'll leave it for questions, and if we can get Val up to.
Any questions for Tony before we bring Val up to talk?
I was curious as to whether or not our city attorney has reviewed the contract.
Yes.
The financial impact, that's similar to the last several years?
Well, It's not that much, but we anticipate it's possible that it could be, just given what rates that are going up on utilities. It's been roughly 60 to 65, but we want to be sure that they're covered. And, there is a potential for them to get grants as well, which could bring that number down. But if they don't get the grants, I don't want to, we don't want to shut the pool down middle of the season because we can't operate it. So we want to give them some kind of a buffer. So this is a number that we've agreed. We feel like it's beneficial to the city to enter into this agreement and sort of hand it off to them to run it and see how it goes.
So does that cover the normal city expenditures that we would see on the budget for the pool? Is that included in that? Is that in addition to those expenditures?
That would be what we normally, that number that you see is what we would normally see in an annual loss.
Pay.
A loss. That's what we would pay out. That's correct.
Okay.
And then the maintenance of the pool would still be the city's responsibility, just like you were saying, that it was going to be resurfaced.
Correct. Yeah, capital projects would still be on the city. Yes. Unless, they were able to get grants, which they have, there's a potential for them to get grants for capital projects that the city may not be eligible for. And so we would partner with them to make those capital projects happen.
Excellent.
They have some ambitious projects that I think would be a really good direction for the pool.
I looked at the numbers of what they had kind of projected for revenue and kind of looked at the last few years and saw that our revenues continued to decline while our expenses have continued to increase from year to year. And it looks like this might possibly have the opposite effect.
There's one other thing I'll add, that I think they have some really great potential partnerships with the school district that might enhance their attendance as well, and potentially provide, opportunities financially, possibly if they wanted to down the road participate in how we are subsidizing. That's an option. But right now, I think they're comfortable with taking this on this year and see how it plays out.
Val Early, would you like to come up?
Hi, I'm Val Early, and I'm the president of SCCA. Several of our board members are also here. Our vice president, Ingrid Amundsen, is here, and our secretary, Charlene Worthy, Sienna Worthy, and Dan Bratton are also here, and they were the ones that also sat with me as we went through all of the talks with the city. And I would really like to say thank you to the city staff. They were fabulous. We have gone back and forth. We went through some changes during the time that we were trying to negotiate this. And Tony and Lori and Lou they were wonderful to work with. So I think that we just wanted to make sure that you all know how much we appreciated their dedication in helping to get this together. I want to reiterate that South Coast Community Aquatics is a nonprofit organization. We are pursuing grants. We have received 2 small grants at this time. We have a larger grant that is we've already applied, waiting to hear on that one, and that would provide some funding. It is our intention, and it's clear in the management agreement also, that if we are able to secure funds, grants, and we have an overage, we will not keep money from the city, we will return it to the city. So again, we are relying on the past city figures when we did the pro forma, and in doing so, we have some unknown costs because your city staff has taken care of a lot of things. So Tony and our organization worked pretty closely to be able to come up with a number that was acceptable. And I'm happy to answer any questions, and Dan and Sienna were both in all of these, so they'd be happy to come up and answer questions too. Oh, and we look forward to having one of you on our board.
Any questions?
I just have a comment. I wanted to thank the members of the South Coast Community Aquatics for their hard work in the past. I know that they've been dedicated and pursuing this for a long time. And I'm particularly supportive of their mission statement to provide year-round community pool that meets the diverse aquatic needs of Brookings and the surrounding communities. And I hope that becomes a reality. So I'm excited about this agreement, which I know has been in the works for a while, and I truly appreciate the hard work of your volunteer group to move forward here with the first step to this.
Thank you.
I second what Andy said, and second what you said about Tony, Lori, and Lou, and our interim city manager, and everyone. There's a lot of hard workers in this whole thing, but to what Andy said, I think your group is coming in and stepping up big time with this, and personally, I really appreciate it. I think our pool is an asset to our community, and especially to our children. Not that our older adults don't benefit from it either, but so I'm excited about it. All right, thank you.
Okay. Again, we really appreciate the opportunity, and our whole organization is super excited, so.
Any more discussion? Well, I'd like to motion to authorize the interim city manager to enter into a management agreement with the South Coast Community Aquatics to operate the Brookings Municipal Pool.
I second.
Call the question?
Counselor Purita.
Yes.
Counselor Malmberg.
Yes.
Counselor Martin.
Yes.
Counselor Fulton.
Yes.
Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thanks to the staff too for all your work on this. I know this has been a lot involved.
Moving on to agenda item G, informational non-action items. It's a February 2024 vouchers. Any discussion there?
I was curious as to the charge to American Industrial Door myself. That seemed, do we know what that was for?
I can explain that. That's for we purchased the fire doors, the new
Okay.
fire bay doors. So we purchased the doors, and now we're in the process of getting quotes to get them installed.
Great.
Well, some framework, but yeah, that's what those are for.
And Andy and I probably, maybe are the only two that remember the presentation, but the front of the fire department, they relayed all that new concrete for the weight of the vehicles. They're also, there's 3 doors coming in to replace the ones that are there. They'll be on the move further out so the fire trucks have more room inside, as I understood it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're all glass, so that you can see inside there.
Nice.
Fiber, it's plexi, but it's not real glass. And they go up really fast.
All right, well, if there's no more discussion on that, moving on to agenda item H, remarks from mayor, councilors, and city manager.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you, Ron and Luke and Tiffany and Val, of course, and the whole board there. Thank you for sharing the information. That's what we use to kind of help us guide for the city and our needs. And as always, I'm very thankful to our police and fire department personnel for their ongoing dedication to keeping our community a safe place to recreate, work, and live. I would like to bring 4 council items, organizational items to the council. So sorry. First one is a council president. Our bylaws state that at our first meeting of each odd number year, the council shall appoint a president from its councilors. At this time, I do not believe we have an official council president. A council president, do we? I don't think so. A council president functions as the mayor when the mayor is absent from a council meeting or unable to function as a mayor. So due to the new makeup of the council, I do not believe we currently have one in place, so I would like to place that on the next council agenda. The second thing are goals. One of the council's main jobs is to identify needs, establish goals, objectives, and set city priorities. There are currently 2 plans that we have in place. One is a comprehensive plan and one's a short-term strategic plan. These plans should inform city staff of the council's priorities in planning and budgeting, should provide a vision for the future of the community, along with the steps that are needed to make that vision reality. The current comprehensive plan the city includes 18 goals. The plan was last revised and made effective in 2014. The short-term 24-month strategic plan was built for the years 2019 to 21 years. It has 4 goals. I would like to spend some time in an upcoming workshop to evaluate if these goals have been reached, are still the priority as written, or if we need to modify, reduce, or create any new goals. As I tell my students, if you don't set goals and evaluate them periodically, you will never know where you're going and if you ever get there. The goals we make should be what supports the city budget and planning processes and decisions. The next item of order is the evaluation process. There's currently not a process in place for assessing our own performance as a council or our city manager's effectiveness. I request that we take some time at a future workshop to develop an evaluation process for the council as well as the city manager position. And last but not least, citizen engagement. The council has been discussing the importance of community voice, how we actively seek out citizen input. There are platforms out there, for example, Civi, Civocracy, Maptioneer, Elicit, Citizen Lab that assist with this process. I would like to ask that at a future workshop, we take a look at how we are engaging our citizens and how we can increase community engagement. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Long.
That was great.
I have a couple comments. So I was appointed council president several meetings ago, but if somebody else is interested in that, I'm certainly willing to step aside from that. I just returned from a week-long meeting in Fresno with the Pacific Fishery Management Council. There was a pretty large contingent from Brookings that attended the meeting, also from Crescent City. But the Pacific Fishery Management Council is made up of Oregon, Washington, California, and Idaho to manage salmon fisheries and ocean fisheries, commercial and sport, and tribal fisheries. Usually at this meeting, Brookings for the past several years has kind of got the raw end of the deal for fishery management, where we've had the most restrictive seasons on the coast. And this meeting, we came away with one of the best ocean salmon opportunities we've had in 10 years. And we solidified our recreational bottom fish fishery opportunities. And the Pacific Fishery Management Council took a lot of action to preserve commercial access to fisheries, which was in jeopardy with some of the federal regulations, and also marine reserve areas sought by some environmental groups, and whale entanglement issues. So it was a productive meeting. We're looking at about a 120-day ocean salmon season this spring and summer, a limited commercial fishery, and then a full year-round rockfish and lingcod season from this. So the results couldn't have been better for the Brookings fishing community and the Oregon coast. California came out of the meetings with very restrictive seasons, and they're looking at an ocean salmon season of less than 15 days for the entire area from the border to Monterey. So the Oregon delegation did a good job, and the importance for Brookings, for the tourism portion of our economy, we're going to be the closest harbor to California with a lengthy ocean salmon season, which will benefit our tourist related businesses.
I was going to let you know, I don't know if you saw it, but the League of Oregon Cities has an upcoming community visioning and strategic planning seminar, which I had actually already requested to attend. So I don't know if that's something you would be able to be a part of, but it sounds like it goes right along with the things that we're hoping for as well. I also wanted to bring a comment based on the Planning Commission minutes that I read. I saw in that the approval for 2 more short-term rental units, I guess, and that just, once again, it calls to question in my mind how many short-term rentals our community has and what the percentage looks like as far as homes overall. So that's information that I would hope that we could get, so we could consider as a council how that impacts our community.
I think it maybe, I think that's a good idea to bring that to the full council's attention. I think that has been discussed quite a bit, but not with a lot of the people that are here. So I think that's a good idea to maybe just bring it up at a workshop, just to, update everyone on some of the findings. I know that the Planning Commission requested that of the city a while ago to produce those sort of studies and comparisons on how we sit in comparison to a lot of the other communities. And I think that maybe Tony probably has a lot of that information that just maybe everyone in this council should probably be privy to, see where we're at with that. So.
I read an article in regards to a town in Colorado where that has become a real problem because there's so many vacation rentals and employees can't find homes. And so it's just on my radar, something that we should think about and consider.
Would council consider a joint workshop with the Planning Commission?
I would.
Yeah, I think that'd be beneficial.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you again to the city workers all across the board. We've had a lot of stormy weather, as you all know, and a lot of trees down, a lot of debris in the roads, a lot of this, that, and the other. And my goodness, I know there were some people that had some power out for a little bit of time, but other than that, as far as other mass inconveniences like roads out, even flooding I can't imagine the amount of water going through our drains right now or a week ago and this weekend, but everything keeping up. And so I really appreciate all the hard work that our city has done to just continue, our city workers have done to continue to make our city usable during these very rough times with the amount of rain we're getting. I don't have an official measurement, maybe somebody else does, but I know backyard rain gauge wise, we've averaged about an inch since January 1 a day.
Wow.
Again, that's my unlicensed, unofficial.
Backyard weather station.
Yeah, take it for what you will. But if that is even close to true, that's been a lot of water, and I think it is. So, thank you.
I know somebody who lives on North Bank Road with 63 inches year to date.
Wow.
That's a little less than an inch a day though, but close. Close to it.
One last thing that I think you guys all saw the email that I had asked Chief McRae to forward, but Advanced Air is going to be taking over operations down at the airport down there. It used to be Contour. They're having a kickoff event the 18th, and I think they're going to start flights on the 17th of March. I think it's going to be great for our community. It's going to, as Brian Cooley, who showed up and explained to us previous council meetings, they're going to have a lot more service to the Oakland area, and then they're also going to do 2 flights per week down to the Los Angeles area. So I think that's going to allow for a lot more access for our community. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. If any of you are interested in attending their thing on the 18th, and just show my support for Advanced Air. I think they're going to be an asset to the community.
You think that would be beneficial for other councilors to attend?
It's up to you. They wanted to extend the invite out to everyone. I think that it's a little harder for us being up here in Brookings as maybe some of the city council members from Crescent City, but anyway, I'll show up for sure, but just wanted to throw that out there.
What day of the week is the 18th?
I think it's,
Off the top of your head?
I think it's Monday.
It's Monday, okay. Okay, one last request for comments. No one has any. We'll adjourn at 7:37. Thank you.